happy 2018 and welcome to the Reknit podcast, episode number 13. I hope you all had a very good holiday season, whether it was Christmas, New Year, or whether you were celebrating something else, or whether you were just having a nice bit of time off. I hope the first couple of weeks of your 2018 have been awesome. My name is Emily and you can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as Elfie McDork.
I'm Roz. You can find me as Rosaroo on Ravelry and Rosaroo on Instagram.
And we have quite a lot of stuff today.
Yeah, it's been a while since we recorded.
It has. It's also been Christmas,
Yeah.
Which means we've had gifts.
Yeah.
And also I've had time off work, which means I've had time to do knitting and things. So we have a fair amount of content, really, to start off with. Yeah,
We do.
Busy.
Yeah.
Right, are you starting?
Sure.
Got it.
The work in progress.
Yep.
This is a work in progress. So this is a sock, which is kind of nearly-ish done. Nearly ready to start the toe. This is some yarn I got for Christmas. I got it in my stocking, and because I got it in my stocking, I ripped the tag with the wrapping paper. So it is
So excited to get
Yeah.
into that yarn.
It is Head Over Heels by Stylecraft. It's striping like this, as you can see on the actual sock. It's sock weight yarn, 75% superwash wool, 25% nylon. In the Ingleborough colourway. I don't know what Ingleborough means, but I don't know what about it suggests like greens and blues and purples. But anyway, it's 2mm needles, my standard sort of 2x2 ribbed cuff, 6x2 ribbed leg and top of the foot. And this is some West Yorkshire Spinners for the heel, which I think is also 75 wool, 25 nylon. And I don't know what colour this is because I haven't got the label, but it's West Yorkshire Spinners in a solid colour, which is quite a bright green. So yeah, sock. This has been going since shortly after Christmas, possibly Christmas Eve, Boxing Day. It wouldn't be Christmas Eve, would it? Because that was before I got the present. Yeah. So yeah, this is a sock. This is the first sock. And the only other work in progress from a knitting or crocheting point of view is my, I've just dropped a stitch. The beginning of, well, it's just some ribbing at the moment, some twisted ribbing. It is going to be a colourwork mitten or a fingerless mitten, possibly a fingerless mitten with a flap. I haven't decided yet because I haven't got that far yet, but it is out of this little grey sheep yarn that I got from Loop in London when we went to London to Loop. This colour, the brown, is called Bulrush, and then I have two other colours that are so not even, begun yet, that they're still middle skeins. But these are going to be like the colours that I do the colour work with, and the brown is going to stay for the ribbing, I think, just for the ribbing. And these are going to be the exciting colours. So I'm hopeful that I'm going to get two mittens, possibly fingerless mittens, out of it, because there's not a huge amount of stuff, not a huge distance to cover. It's not like socks.
Are you doing them as like knits rather than gloves?
Yeah, they're not going to have fingers, but
No.
I might, if I've got enough yarn, once I've done sort of up to here,
Yeah.
they might have a flap.
Okay.
Because, yeah, I don't want my hands stuck in a mitten. I want to be able to get them out and do stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, these are very soft and lovely. Hampshire yarn. I don't know what sheep they are, whether the Hampshire is a sheep breed, but it's, soft and lovely. So that is all my works in progress.
That's all your whips?
Yes.
Cool. Well, I am trying to, and I can actually get this stitched in it. I'm knitting on a pair of socks, and these are handspun socks, which is my first handspun project, my first thing that I've made out of my handspun. I have knit some of my handspun up before, but not like as a thing. So these are handspun socks, and this is the ball that I'm knitting from. This is the stuff that I spun for Tour de Fleece this year, and it all comes from Alternate Universe. And I could look up what all the different fibres are made up of, but it's lots and I can't be asked. So I know some of it's bamboo. There's definitely nylon in there. There's some wool of some description in there. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah.
But I spun it with the intention of it being a sock yarn, so I intentionally made sure that there was nylon in there. And I balled it up on sometime between Christmas and New Year and cast it on. So this is the beginning. It's just going to be a vanilla sock because I'd quite like to see how a handspun knits up rather than doing anything fancy pants with it. So it will just be a regular vanilla sock. It's interesting. It's got such a different feel than like a sock knit in milled yarn, if you like. Yeah, it seems to be a lot denser. And I think because the yarn is a bit of thick and thin in places, like it's got a rustic look about it, you know. It's kind of wibbly, but that's okay. That's good.
It was one of your very first handspuns.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you,
but still, but it gives it that sort of very handmade look.
Yeah.
You know, and I like that.
Yeah.
So that is my first current work in progress. My next one is what was my Christmas Eve cast on, as it happens. It's in a funky bag, which I will show you later for stash enhancements because it's a new one. But this is from iKnit. Now, have I got the thing? I don't think I have. Well, I do have this somewhere. I don't know. So this is, I'm going to say it's merino, nylon and stellina out of what I can remember.
Yeah.
And it's from iKnit, I can tell you that.
Ah,
and
so we both cast on stuff we got from our London trip.
Yes.
For our Christmas Eve cast.
Yes, that's true. And I'm doing another sock head hat, like the green one that I did a couple of weeks ago. I'm doing another one, and this one is just going to be a grey one. Just a plain grey one. But I wanted to use this, and it's really nice and soft, and it's kind of got a little bit of sparkle. I think it's only 5% stellina, so it's a very subtle sparkle. But yeah, I wanted it to be a hat, so it's going to be a hat. Yeah, so that was my Christmas Eve cast on. Now the other thing that I have is a project that kind of exploded a bit, and I cast it on literally the evening after we recorded the last podcast.
Okay.
And it took over my life for a little while, and that is this extravaganza, which you might need to help me hold up.
Oh yes, I remember that.
Which is the beginnings of my sock yarn crochet blanket. What do I call it? There's a name for it and I can't remember what it is.
Granny stripe?
Granny stripe, yeah, something like that. So this is the Attic 24 granny stripe sock yarn blanket, which loads of other people have done. And it kind of exploded. So I started off...
I think it looks far too nice for you to say it's exploded.
No, I mean, not exploded as in the thing has exploded, but like me doing it has exploded. I suddenly started doing it and didn't do anything else for ages, which is funny because everybody that I've heard talk about making one, exactly the same thing has happened. So I started off, I cast on...
You didn't cast on. It's crochet.
Okay, I
chained.
I don't know. I don't crochet, I'm not a crocheter.
Well, you've crocheted all this. I think I beg to differ.
So this is the Pennywise the Clown yarn that I knit the socks out of. I can tell you now those socks were for my mum for Christmas because she's got them now, so I can tell you who they were for and she liked them. So I started with that, and then I went through all my sock yarns and picked different bits out. There's some West Yorkshire Spinners in there, a yarn shop day, there's the Christmas yarn, that's Stranded Dye Works, the orangey one at the top there, and so on and so forth. And it was completely addictive. At the beginning of this week, I think I got home after work 3 days in a row, and I put an audiobook on and did this for like the entire evening, which is why there's so much of it. It's not quite wide enough for 2 people. Well, you can't see the ends, but
no.
It's not wide enough to cover 2 people.
Yeah.
But if you do it that way, it's quite long. So if I make it really long and long enough to cover 2, like that way, if I make it long enough to cover 2 people.
At the moment, it does about one of your thighs.
At the moment, yeah, go that way it does, yeah. But
yeah.
So this is the beginning, and I'll show it every now and again when like a bit of progress has been made on it.
Yeah.
I am slowly running out of sock yarn now because I've used the majority of what I have. I've got a few left, but some of them I'm not going to use yet because I haven't actually knit anything with the yarn.
You don't want to have to rip back miles and miles of crochet stripes to get that last.
I mean, if I know I'm going to knit socks out of it, then that's fine because I know I'll have. If I do a stripe, because I'm doing 1 stripe of each yarn, so there and back, if you like. if I know that I'm going to knit socks out of a yarn that I've not used yet, then that's fine, because I know that I'll have enough to do a stripe and a pair of socks, because that's what all of these are. But I've got one yarn, like I've got one that I might make into a shawl, and like if I'm going to do something else with it, then I'm not going to put it in yet, because I don't want to risk not having enough to make. And the ends are going to kill me, seriously. By the end of this blanket, yeah.
You might have to like periodically stop weaving all the ends.
I think so, because otherwise the world might end. And I've got a lot of these yarns left to do another stripe. So if I run out of sock yarns, I'll just start repeating the colours again.
Yeah.
It's not like you're going to notice, you know?
Yeah. Especially if you repeat them in a different order.
Oh, yeah, exactly. At the moment, I've literally just been picking up what I fancy, what I can find. I've got my bag, oh, it's over there. I've got a huge bag that's full of sock yarn that normally sits in my storage cupboard. And I just pull the bag out and put it down on the floor next to the sofa, so I could just pick bits of sock yarn out of it at random. And that's what I've been doing. So that's my quite extensive project. And that's it for works in progress at the moment. Do you want to do your finished objects?
Okay, I have...
You've got a few.
I finished 3 or 4 objects, but I only have one set of objects to show, because one set was a Christmas present that I've given away to people, so I will insert a photo in a second. But the other one are my Christmas socks, and I forgot to bring my Christmas socks with me to record the podcast because I'm a fool.
And mine are in the wash, so you know neither of us can show.
Okay, but we have a photo of us wearing our Christmas socks together, so you know that will
we'll put some pictures in.
Yeah, we'll insert some pictures. I said we. It's going to be me. So if I haven't done that, I'm very sorry in advance. But hopefully I won't remember. But these are my finished objects. These are the Ryeland handspun, hand-dyed, hand-knit socks.
And everything.
Yeah. And they're on my new sock blockers, because I got sock blockers for Christmas. Thank you, Mum. Also, thank you, Dad, but I think it was mostly Mum who was involved in like the Christmas present buying.
I don't think your dad would know a sock blocker if you hit him over the head with it.
Yeah,
so,
well, I don't know that my mum would know a sock blocker.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I think if she's watching this now, she knows these are sock blockers and she remembers buying them. But I had to
explain what they were.
I had to send her a link to the specific ones I wanted and be like, I would like these, please, because you know. Well, I mean, she knows my shoe size, but I don't think if I said I want some sock blockers, she'd be like,
I don't know what they are.
No. So you know, but yeah, these are the socks that I was spinning the yarn for in our very first podcast, and now 13 episodes in, I've finally finished the socks. So,
which is a pretty good speed from like spun to knit up. That's impressive.
Well,
considering most people will like spin something up and then it'll sit in a box for 3 years.
Yeah, we're not, you know, counting all the other things I've spun and not done anything with.
But for that particular project.
Yeah, they're not hugely long socks because I didn't have a huge quantity of yardage or meterage for all the socks. But I have got a little bit left over, so I didn't have to, you know, adulterate them with something, you know, that I hadn't spun and dyed and, you know.
Very nice. Are they cosy?
I haven't actually worn them. I've been sitting on my brand new sock blockers since I finished them. I think I finished them definitely over Christmas.
Yeah.
Because I was, before Christmas, I was racing to finish my Christmas socks to wear them on Christmas Day, which I did.
Yay.
Insert photo here. Or in a moment. But and then I finished these. I only had a tiny bit left to do on one of the toes. So, yay, socks. I'm really pleased with them. I will report back on how well they wear, because they are pure wool. But they're a ryeland. They're not like a merino or anything super soft. So, we'll see. And I've got some leftovers to darn holes if I wear a hole in the bottom. Because I've developed a policy now of if I wear holes in commercial socks, like commercial yarn socks, I can't be bothered to darn them. Whereas if I hand spun the wool myself, like I care more to darn the holes. And I have got a pair at home sitting waiting for darning. But yeah, other socks are just getting thrown out because I knit a lot of socks.
Yeah,
I'm not in any danger of running out. But if I've spent the time and effort to spin the yarn as well as knit the sock, then I can kind of bother to darn them. But yeah. This is my finished object. And the other finished object, my Christmas socks, and then the other finished object are some little Christmas owls.
Christmas potatoes.
Yeah. Well, they look like Christmas potatoes when I knit them and not like put their features on. They were
Have
just
you got a picture of them as Christmas potatoes?
possibly,
Okay.
maybe not. But yeah. But when you put beaks and eyes and wings on them, they turn into owls.
They did look very cute.
But when they were just a body and a Christmas hat, they did look like Christmas potatoes. So those are coming up shortly. Insert photo. And I can't remember the name of the pattern, but I will insert that as well. Because it was a pattern I got off Ravelry. A nice free pattern from Ravelry. And yeah, those are my finished objects.
Those are your finished objects. I only have a couple of finished objects, one of which is the Christmas socks, so I don't have those to show you.
Yeah.
The other one is another pair of socks, and these are my Down Sheepy Lane Stephen King Yarn Club socks. This was the sock set for... This is Dirty Birdie, so that was...
The second one?
Yeah, what's the name of the book?
Misery.
That's the one, thank you. So it came as a sock set, Dirty Birdie, so there it is. And they are lovely and gorgeous and beautiful. And I like them a lot.
Have you worn them yet?
I have. I wore them when they were finished and then I washed them and put them on sock blockers.
Cool.
And there is some of this already in my
Crochet yarn blanket.
crochet yarn blanket just there. So there's the light one and the dark one there.
And you kept them together.
Yeah.
Like a sock set.
Yeah.
In a stripy blanket.
So that's that. And I'm really tough. They look really good. I think. No, they look really nice and they're very comfy and it's
Cozy.
awesome. Yeah, no, I'm dead chuffed. So that's my only finished object that I have to show currently. That is my lovely socks that I'm going to use to block your face with.
Oh, thank
you. Look at the top. There you go. Yeah. So that is them. Right, do you want to move the bit of...
No, we've
we've got to do spinning yet, haven't we?
We're so busy. We're so presented from Christmas that we've now got 2 pages of show notes.
We have.
So yeah, let's talk about some spinning.
Spinning. So it was Spinning Guild yesterday.
Yeah, first spinning guild of the year. We are both fully paid up members of the Avon Guild of Weavers, Spinners and Dyers for the year 2018.
Nice.
We have membership cards we could get out to show you, but we're not going to because they're not in our piles of stuff.
No.
So that would involve us moving.
And also because we were going to Spinning Guild, I was like, I should probably spin something. And I don't think I've spun since something like September.
Yeah.
So we both... Well, you had been doing some spinning before that anyway,
Yeah.
although you hadn't spun for a little while before
Yeah.
that.
I've been doing more spinning between last month's spinning guild and this month.
Yeah.
But there's been a while in between where I haven't done much.
I hadn't done any for ages. And now I've been spinning for I've done... like a couple
3
of days
days?
worth, yeah.
You spun for
lots
3
of
days in a
spinning.
row.
So it's good. I'm back in the groove, which I like. Yeah. You first?
Okay, this
Go for
is what I finished spinning. I started spinning it at last month's Spinning Guild and I applied it yesterday at the Spinning Guild. This is the chrome yellow fibre from Hilltop Clouds Time Travellers Club. I think this was the August package we got.
Did I get that one?
Yes.
I don't think I... No.
Yes, somewhere.
Did I?
Somewhere you've got
Maybe I
like
did.
100 grams of this yellow fluff.
Okay.
I promised.
Take your word for it.
Yeah. And so I spun this 2-ply long draw from the fold, so it's a bit thick and thin because my long draw is not as controlled as my short draw, but it looks kind of soft and fuzzy. And somewhere I've written down what this fibre blend is. I think it's mostly merino.
Did you write it down in your nice spinning book?
I haven't written it down in my nice book yet. I will do now that it's plied when I can, count the tally my wraps around my skein winder and find out how long it is. Ooh, this end of the bobbin is all twisty.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's supposed to be a happening thing or not, but let's stop doing that now. So yeah, it's 2-ply. It's a bit thick and thin, but it should be all soft and lovely. I don't think, from what I remember, I don't think there's anything particularly strong in here, so it can't be. Have to be something that's not going to get a lot of wear, like a hat. Or maybe like the yoke of a jumper or something. I don't know what I'm going to do with it at the moment. Make it into a skein and put it in my box of finished handspun yarns and leave it a bit longer till inspiration strikes. But it's really soft and pretty, and it's a colour I would never... This is the thing I like about being in the Fibre Club, is you get colours you would never buy. I'm not really a fan of yellow, but 100 grams of yellow fluff turns up and it's lovely to spin, and then you have this this load of yellow stuff you've got to find something to do with. So it gets you out of your colour comfort zone, or your colour, you know, I tend to buy like blue or purple or blue and purple, so you know, not everything can be blue and purple, especially if you want to do like colour work. Maybe you need some contrast. So yeah, that is the spinning that I finished, and at the moment, let's see if I can lift up a whole spinning wheel. Oh, I'm so strong.
Don't knock the camera.
Yeah, I did that last time.
Like move out of the way like this.
Okay, here is what I'm currently spinning, which is also Hilltop Cloud. This is also a Christmas present. Okay, I don't know that I can keep holding this spinning wheel, so I'm holding the whole thing because it's still attached. Look, see? This is my Kiki, my Ashford Kiwi. This is more Hilltop Cloud. This is a Christmas present from my mother. It's pure superfine merino. This is what it looks like as a fibre. It's purple. I gave my mum a link to the website and was like, I would like anything off this website. So she chose me something purple because she's my mother and she knows me. So it's kind of a sort of grey purple, a grey browny purple. So it's not all the same colour all the way through. I'm about, I don't know.
I'm going to sneeze.
I'm going to have to edit that out.
I've probably got fibre on my nose.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is a kind of grey browny purple. And it's spinning up lovely. I'm spinning it short draw for a change. I'm trying to alternate between spinning something short draw and spinning something long draw, because even though it takes a lot longer to spin short draw, my hands know what they're doing so much that I don't have to look at the spinning all the time. Whereas with the long draw, I feel like I need to be watching it before it all falls apart. So yeah, that is my spinning.
That's your spinning. I have spinning to show.
Yeah.
First time in like flipping forever.
Yeah.
Right. So yesterday at Spinning Guild, I finished spinning up something that has been sat on my bobbin for about 4 or 5 months probably.
Yeah.
And that's this lovely stuff. This is 100% eco bamboo. I still have the label for it. It's from Alternate Universe, shop run by our lovely friend Kim.
Yeah.
And it's the Divina colour. But you can see, actually, that light's really nice. It's making it look very bright and beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 100% bamboo, and I spun it very thinly. On the end, there it is. What I found with the bamboo, that's not the end. Oh no, it is the end. It's just tucked itself behind. What I found with the bamboo was because it's so, like, it's
smooth and
smooth. That's the word I was looking for. Because the fibres are so smooth, they separate quite easily. So they come apart quite easily when you're spinning, especially if you're spinning it quite thin. But I got that much done, and that's quite a lot. It was a big braid, and that's all on one bobbin. But I started this like in August, September time, I think, with the intention of it being something for a friend's birthday. That friend's birthday was in October.
Yeah.
But it might still be that. And I can talk about it, because if she watches this, it'll be a cold day in hell, to be honest.
Yeah. It's her 50th birthday in October, but she's having another birthday next year, so this year now.
Yeah. So anyway, that's this, and it's going to be plied with the stuff that I'm currently spinning. I can't show you the stuff that's on the wheel because my wheel is like over there, and I'm not going to fetch it. But this is what it looks like in the fibre. And this is merino and silk. I don't know what the percentage is. I can't remember.
I think it's mostly merino.
It is mostly merino. But this is from Beth Connor's Textiles, which is a shop on Etsy, and it's beautiful. It's got sort of, it's almost like the colours are like almost pearlescent, like not in their texture, but like just the colours. It's like that colour you get when you have like a pearlescent-y greens
inside of a shell.
Yeah, greens and purples and sort of things. But it's lovely.
Yeah.
So the plan is, I've got some of the bamboo that's run away.
Yeah, there's bamboo all over everything.
The plan is to spin this to a similar thickness, ply it together, and make something out of it. So there you go. Yeah, there's quite a lot of it. It's quite long. It's quite soft and pretty. So that's my current spinning plan. Turn this into a thing. Fab. Right.
We're done with spinning?
Yeah, let's do this.
And we're back.
Right. So if we talk about our Christmas stuff first, and then we'll talk about our other stash. So do you want to talk about your Christmas stuff first?
Sure.
Because it was Christmas, and you know, people have met us and know us, and so we got a lot of yarn stuff for Christmas.
People love us and bought us lovely presents.
I know, we're very lucky.
Yeah. Okay, so the first thing I got was this book called The Spinner's Book of Fleece. Because I have some fleece in the garage and upstairs and
everywhere.
yeah, lots and lots of fleece. And I've not spun, apart from, I've done a little bit of one of the fleeces. And then there were 2 that I got that were in a bit of a bad condition because they've been stored strangely. I had to throw a lot of them away, and I got a little bit of yarn from them to make 2
I
pairs of
must
slippers.
actually look at that book.
Yeah,
I haven't looked at it.
but I own more fleece than I've spun by a lot because I've not really spun any fleeces. So this is going to help me, encourage me to A, spin the fleeces that I got, and B, to know how to spin them most appropriately for their type of fleece.
This is why we were sat at Spinning Girl yesterday going, no more fleeces, no more fleeces.
Yeah. No more fleeces until we've A, washed, B, prepped, and C, spun. I actually made them into yarn. The fleeces
now,
that we have.
not only are there your fleeces in your garage, but there's also my fleeces as well.
Yeah.
Although I think, are they all prepped? Are they all...
No, some of them are not washed. Some of them are not washed.
So
only one of them is prepped.
Yeah.
I found
that's going to be our project for this sort of spring summer, I think. And
wash
now
all
we've
the
got
fleeces.
more spaces to do prep and washing and stuff in. I think it's going to have to be the big push.
Yes, we're going to have to get rid of the bags of unwashed fleece. They're going to have to stop being unwashed fleece because you shouldn't really keep fleece unwashed for more than a year. It starts to
go funky.
Yeah, so we've got a couple of months to get a lot of fleece washed. So yeah, hopefully we can report back in further podcasts that we have done that, and you'll be able to see actual yarn happening from these fleeces.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
With the help of my book.
Yes.
Which is a lovely present for my mum. It's a nice hardback book, suitable for, lots of bashing about should the need arise. It's, a nice hefty book. And it's got pictures of sheep and generally very lovely. See, Black Welsh Mountain. I've spun that from...
look, that's sheepy.
Look at the pretty sheep. I've spun that as fibre, but not from a fleece. Just from a braid of fibre. So, just randomly open it.
Was that a book you requested?
Yeah. It was on my Amazon wishlist.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah. Maybe once we've spun up the stuff we've got, we can use the book to buy stuff more advisedly. Yes, more wisely.
Sure.
So, it's a lovely book. And I'm looking
I think that'll be a case of, we'll still buy the stuff, but we'll be more likely to go, I know what I can do with it.
Like, how to spin it and what kind of things it will be good for. And yeah. So that was my Christmas present from my mum. This is a Christmas present from my aunt, which I think, I'm sure it's handmade. I don't know whether it was handmade by her. My mum and I are in a little bit of a debate about that. But it's a cross-stitched bag with a lining, which I'm using to keep my fibre in that I'm spinning. I'm using it sort of to bring my knitting and spinning between my house and Em's house, and also take to Spinning Guild. And it's lovely, and I love it. And it's from someone put an awful lot of work into this. I believe it was my aunt. But yeah, and it's got buttons on the bottom, so it stands up nicely.
It's gorgeous.
It's really, really stunning. And little handles, and is it all in the frame? Yeah. There we are. It's both sides. And my mum's got one which is the same pattern of all these different cross-stitch squares, but because the yarn is sort of striping or variegated, or they're not all exactly the same, and she's got a different lining, and I think also different buttons. So we've got very similar presents. I'm very pleased with that.
They are lovely.
Yeah. And it's got a nice cotton-y lining, so stuff doesn't get stuck to all the little bits of plastic for the cross-stitch squares. Also I had the sock yarn that I showed that I'm knitting the socks out of.
Oh yeah.
The fibre that I'm currently spinning, and the sock blockers that I am
all the stuff and things
that are currently blocking my socks. And then last knitted present was, well, not knitted, knitting related present was from Em. Got a little tin for putting notions in, and also some teeny tiny stitch markers. Actually, they're not that teeny tiny. They're from the very local yarn shop in town, and they're all
Yeah.
knitting related stitch markers.
Well, the tin came from the Christmas market,
Yeah.
and then I was like, well, I need to buy stitch markers to go with them in that case.
Obviously. The skein of yarn. The ball of yarn and knitting needles. And also I heart knitting, which I do.
Yay!
So thank you very much.
Yeah, very welcome.
Those are all my Christmas presents. Knitty related Christmas presents. Because, you know, I'm very spoiled.
Cool. Right, my stash of presents was also pretty amazing. I had Christmas yarn as well in my stocking, and mine was glittery, and that was opal yarn, and it is party. No, that's for something else.
Yeah. I don't think it's got a name. It's just got a number.
It's just got a number.
Yeah.
It says opal funny mitt something or other, so it can be funny opal for now. So this is the opal regular sock yarn. It's got sparkle in it, and it's very, very pretty. Yeah, so that was one of my presents. Another one was from my brother. So if you have seen some of our past episodes, you'll know that my brother bought me a hilarious Doctor Who knitting book for my birthday in the summer, and he also did not disappoint with Christmas. So one of my Christmas presents from him this year was this book, Doomsday Knits, Projects for the Apocalypse and After. So, you know, very useful. And actually, a lot of the projects in there are really good. Like, they're like hats and
there's a lovely
mitts,
cardigan with a lovely detail on the back, which is beautiful.
Yeah, most lovely mitts like that. That's very nice. Hang on.
I'm not sure that the like post-apocalyptic stuff is completely serious.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Well,
I reckon some of these would be appropriate without any possibility.
Pre-apocalypse.
Yeah.
Some are appropriate pre-apocalypse, but yeah, there's some really good. I'm trying to find the cardie. Oh, that's nice.
Is that the cardie? Yeah.
The ringmaster ones with that button detail on the back.
Yeah,
So that's got. It's called the ringmaster because it kind of looks like a jacket sort of thing.
Is it like a circus?
Yeah.
Because there's going to be a lot of circuses post-apocalypse.
So it's all kinds of stuff like that, basically. Tops, mitts, cardigans, hats, utility corset to put your needles in. Amazing. I want a utility corset. I'm going to make one and wear it to work. Yeah, so that was Doomsday Knits, which was a present from my brother. So it's always nice to have a nice sparkly balaclava to wear with your gas mask.
Yeah.
See, it's got a nice bit of stellina in that. Lovely. So that was the other one. And there is actually, oh no, there's two more. Hang on. A present from Roz, which was this beauty. And this was handmade by Roz.
Yeah. I did a sewing.
You did. And that's the outside, which matches your needle roll that you made. And then the inside is like...
It's a map.
But it's a map. It's like
it's not a real map.
There's like some New Yorky stuff on there and like
London
Oxford Street. And
yeah. It's not a map you can use for navigation.
So that's a little pouch that she gave to me. And the other thing, it's not in my present list, but it should be because I bought it with a voucher that I got.
Oh, yeah.
So, and that is the bag that my hat is currently living in. And I got this from Etsy with a gift voucher that Roz's mum and dad gave to me. And this is a pyramid bag. I bought it from Yarnistry, but it's made by the little grey girl. There's a little tag. And it's a pink project bag with little cat faces on. Little kitty faces. It has a nice big loop, so I can put it over my arm, which is very useful because I use it at work now when I'm supervising during break time, at lunchtime. I can walk about. And also, with it, okay, when I can find them, there they are, some wooden cat stitch markers, which are very cute. So it came with this little range of kitty...
Little wooden kitties. Are they
little wooden kitty stitch markers. They're just, these are wooden.
Yeah.
And they've got little cats on, different
cat
poses, cat poses. So that was, those were my Christmas related gains,
yes.
I believe. Yeah. And then there's more.
Yeah.
More.
You going to carry on with yours?
I can carry on with mine. Yeah. So I decided I was going to knit another jumper. I haven't finished the last one that I'm knitting, but still, you know. So I went onto Wool Warehouse and bought a sweater's worth of yarn. Look at it around a big bag like this. Isn't it amazing? So I have bought some Cascade 220 to do a boxy, a Hohi Locatelli boxy sweater. It comes in 50-gram skeins.
Yeah, it's not the actual. It's not 220 worsted weight.
No, it's just called Cascade 220. That's just the name of the yarn. It's fingering weight.
Yeah.
But it's Cascade 220, and it's, you know, good and cheap. And it's this nice purple. So I have 10 skeins of that, which is how many I need. But they are 50-gram skeins, not 100-gram skeins. So that will become a boxy at some point in the future. But that's my first purchase, and it came in this awesome massive bag. I've only had like teeny tiny ones of those with like stitch markers in. That was a huge one.
Yes.
With yarn in it. Right, so that was one. And the other thing is, as always, the monthly Stephen King Yarn Club from Down Sheepy Lane.
Oh, yeah.
I'm now going to show you what was in the most recent Down Sheepy Lane Yarn Club. So if you don't want to know, just like skip ahead a little bit. So this month's Yarn Club was Gerald's Game, which I don't know and haven't read. So this is the first time it's been a book that a Stephen King book that I have no prior knowledge of. So the yarn, I'll show you the yarn first. It's lovely. It's called the Moonlight Man. And again, it's sock yarn. It's a sturdy sock. You get to choose which sort of sock yarn you want. There's usually 2 or 3 different choices.
Oh, really?
And I tend to choose like the sturdy, comfy sock or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's like the more hard-wearing one. So that's this, and it's lovely. It's very light. It's got light grey and dark grey and some almost black elements, and then there's some oranges and red speckles. It's very nice speckly yarn, and I'm going to be pairing it with the yarn from a couple of months, or no, a lot of months before, which was the Shining yarn. So I'm going to be doing socks with contrast heels by putting those two together. But that was the yarn from this month. And I had, after I got the little pouch that also comes, the little pouch of goodies that also comes with the Yarn Club, I had to go and look up what the book was about because it was intriguing. So apparently Gerald's Game is about, I think, there's a woman and a man, and they're playing some kind of like naughty bedroom games.
Ooh.
And then the man handcuffs the woman to the bed, and then he promptly dies. It's about her stuck handcuffed to the bed with a dead guy. So, you know, fun. And the reason I had to look that up was because the stitch markers for this month were handcuffs. So I was like, interesting, what's that come from? So there's handcuff stitch marker. And then as per, there's some teas. We have peppermint and licorice tea.
That's my I don't like licorice.
And as always, a little badge, which I'll throw on the floor, with the name of the book on, which I'll add to my collection. So once again, a very awesome Down Sheepy Lane Yarn Club. I'm keeping an eye on her Etsy site so I can sign up for the next month when that arrives. But I'm loving it. I'm loving it a lot. Fantastic. And that's it, because the rest of the stuff I'm talking about with you. So,
Well, you can start talking about it.
which bit?
The stuff with me.
Okay. Well, let's talk about this one down here first.
Yes.
Then, when we went
to Spinning Guild
to Spinning
yesterday.
Guild, we weren't going to buy anything, and then we did.
Yeah.
So this is. I haven't even looked at this
We
yet.
kind
Oh
of
my
mostly
life.
bought it for the bag.
Yeah,
There was a
I
bag.
wanted the bag.
There was a bag like this, just the bag, plain bag, without stuff in it, in the raffle. And Em entered the raffle and didn't win and didn't get the bag. And then I noticed on the sale table there was a bag, exactly the same bag,
With fibre in it.
with alpaca in. So I was like, shall we buy the alpaca
Yes.
so you can have
So
the
I've
bag?
got the bag, and that's the spinners, weavers, and dyers.
Yes,
so I'm happy with the bag.
The guild logo.
And then we're going to split the alpaca, which I've not even looked at yet. It literally looks like someone's just shoved an alpaca in there. So
Well, not a whole alpaca.
no, just like the stuff that's come off.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my gosh,
it needs a wash.
Needs
It's
a
got
wash.
some vegetable matter in,
Oh
but
my
yeah.
gosh, doesn't it? So this is alpaca.
But it's black alpaca.
It's very soft.
Yeah, well, it's alpaca. So yeah,
Super nice.
We've got some lovely alpaca.
And I'm going to have to wash the bag because it's now a nice thin coating of alpaca on it.
Well, if
So.
you put it in the tumble dryer, that should all
That's
swoosh
true.
off. And
So it did have like a leaflet thing with it. Is that in with it or not?
we lost of someone. Did that was
Yeah,
that not?
it might be at the bottom or something. I
Maybe
don't
it
know.
wasn't included in the purchase.
So that was our joint purchase.
Yeah.
So there's some alpaca for us to play with
Yeah.
at some point in time, and a cool bag for me.
yeah.
Right, you do your talky thing, and
Aren't you going to show the other fibre we got from the Fibre Club?
Oh, yes. Have I not written that on there?
It's there on the bottom, the
Oh,
graphite.
Of course.
Because
Oh.
we're still in the well, we rejoined the Hilltop Cloud Fibre Club again, and this was
December. This is December.
Oh,
December 2017. So this is the Time Travelers Fibre Club, and this month's was graphite, and it is 12.5% linen, 37.5% Swaledale, and 50% Corriedale.
Yeah.
And it is this lovely colour. So
it's all grey and floofy.
it's very grey and floofy. Yes, this is what my hair's going to look like in 30 years' time. So this is preparation for the future.
Okay.
It's lovely. It's very nice. It's nice. It's very floofy. It's pretty soft, but it's also got a lot of texture as well.
Yeah. It's not that we've been in the club for a continuously long time, but all of the stuff I've had from the club before has been like really soft and lovely, and it's been not that this isn't soft and lovely, but linen and Swaledale is a bit interesting.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
It'll have the rustic look.
Yeah.
I like the rustic look.
That's
Good.
That's good. That will be interesting to spin up.
Yep.
Okay.
Right, you can talk now.
Okay. Well, I spent some of my Christmas money on. There's also my half of the fibre. On old maiden aunt, who is dyer. She lives in Scotland, but I don't think she's Scottish. I think she's American or Canadian. She does, I think, around this time of year, a lucky dip, where basically she sells off skeins of. I think these are colourways she's no longer continuing to dye, so she sells them off, and you basically pay a reduced price, and you don't know what you're getting. You can choose either lace weight, sock weight, or heavier, and but you don't know what kind of yarn you're going to get or what colour you're going to get. So I like to do this because I love the way she dyes, and these are colours that I would not normally. This is an orange. It's a beautiful orange, but there's no way in. You could give me thousands of pounds and hours on her website, and I would never pick the orange. Because it's a way of getting you sort of out of your usual. Another way of getting me out of my usual colour ruts. So this is a beautiful orange skein, which is merino, nylon, and sparkle. It's called Pumpkin Pie, and it is sock weight, and it's this lovely, lovely orange colour.
What did you say? What yarn it is, or does it say? Oh, merino.
Yeah. So yes, it's a sock. It looks like a 2-ply, and I wouldn't make socks out of it because I tend not to make socks with merino because it's too soft and short of a staple to make good sturdy socks. Because I walk holes in my socks like nobody's business. And then I also got I got two. So this is the second one. This is 80% merino, 20% bamboo, and this is called Ember. And this is kind of a browny, sort of slightly pinky brown colour. And again, this is not something I would have picked, but it's a beautiful, beautiful colour. And I will find something to do with it. But yeah, it's just, it's like when you get it through the post, it's like a little surprise because you don't know what colours you're getting. That's very exciting. And I think last year or possibly the year before, I got this brown, which I made a pair of gloves for my mum out of, and also a tiny crochet chain for me to wear my little niffler on. And yeah, I wouldn't. It's a beautiful, beautiful brown, and there's no way I would have bought brown. That's really boring, but it's beautiful. So yeah, I like to do that. Also, it's cheap.
Yeah. Always bonus.
Yeah, I really like Old Maiden Aunt because she does beautiful things with colour, and also she's a lesbian.
Yay.
I like to, give her my money because
why not?
Yeah. So that is my purchases, and then I've also been doing a bit more of the sewing.
Been on a spree.
I have. I've been doing some sewing. So I made I made those pouches for people for Christmas, and then I thought I want to make myself a project bag. I've been looking online at lots of different patterns and, trying to decide what kind of one. There's a lot of, if you search on Pinterest or just Google, there are, loads and loads of different sort of designs for project bags. But this one is really cool because not only is it a lovely project bag, on the inside it has Possibly I shouldn't be showing this with a full bag, but yeah, it's separated.
Do you want to show mine? Because mine has a little thing.
Yeah. Okay.
So I got one as well. She made one for me. Mine is green and has sheep on.
Yeah. It has, on the inside, it has 2 compartments separated by this little notions pouch. So you can, somewhere, if I can find the zip, you can put all your stuff, your notions in there, and they won't be interfering with your yarn. And you can zip that up. And then on the sides, it's got these 2 little
Yarn guides.
Yeah. Oh, I've just ripped that off. Okay.
Yeah.
Gonna have to like. Yeah. So M's bag's gonna require a little bit of surgery, but you can, if you're doing colour work or something, you can keep 2 skeins in the bag on either side of the divider, and then you've got your little clip that you can feed the yarn through so it won't get tangled. But you can also use it for not colour work things.
Yeah.
It's, you know, there's plenty of room in there. This is the medium size. It's a pattern I got. It's called the Sock Sack. It's a pattern I downloaded through Craftsy. But there are videos, but they're not on Craftsy. There are a couple of videos to show you how to do slightly tricky parts of the pattern. But I'm not a sewer, and this is my first time following a proper, like, written down pattern. And I did okay.
You did really well. They're gorgeous.
So, you know, and I've even adjusted part of the pattern because I made my first one, which is the tiny size one.
I love the colours on that one. I love the purple and the teal and the pattern.
Yeah.
And you know.
This is the first one, and the seams on the side go down the middle of the bag when you pull it shut, and that annoys me. So I've like adjusted it so that it goes this way on the subsequent bags. So I even made a modification to the pattern. So this is keeping my tiny little colour work mittens in at the moment, but yeah, so I'm really pleased with that. This is fabric I bought from a spinning wheel in Clevedon, intending to make myself a project bag about not quite a year ago, and I finally got round to it. So this is a very knitted related print, and this is the lining and this bit, and then I got the zip and the fabrics for this bag and that bag from
Show yours has got penguins on it.
Yeah.
You can see the pattern on it.
Yeah, ice skating penguins.
And then mine has sheep on.
I got these from a very local to me haberdashery with sells lots of lovely fabrics, and it's run by a very nice lady. So, you know, that's, again, it's nice to spend money with people who you know it's not like going to Hobbycraft or somewhere and it's going to a giant multinational corporation, or I don't know whether Hobbycraft is a giant multinational corporation, but you know, I'm spending that money with that lady and that's her business.
Yeah.
And she's very nice, and she, you know, enabled me into one of those things that, like a pizza wheel for cutting your fabric, which is super quick, and I got like a cutting mat with it because you can't, because it's so sharp, if you cut it on stuff that's not the cutting mat, you'll cut through whatever's underneath as well. So yeah, I've got one of those now. So yeah, I'm really enjoying the sewing, and I bought some more fabric because this was in the Christmas sale because it's penguins. I don't know why the green sheep were in the Christmas sale, because what's Christmassy about sheep? Like, you'd think spring coming up now in a couple of months would be like the hot time to get your sheep bag fabric or your sheep fabric. But anyway, that was in the sale, and I've got some other stuff on the sale, so there can be future project bag sewing and other types of sewing. So
exciting.
Yeah, that is, I think,
fab.
That's everything. We've been talking
that was a lot.
Yeah, there are going to have to be some cuts though, because she did a lot of sneezing.
I sneezed. You had to move a thing. It was all. One more thing I will say. We will be going to Unravelled in February.
Yes. I think it's just Unravel. I don't think it's all.
Oh, Unravel. Okay, whatever it is. It's in Farnham in Surrey, and we will be there on the Friday.
Oh, I think it's the 10th or the 11th or something. No, it's not.
No, it's the weekend after.
It's the 12th. 13th, 14th, 15th. I think it's the 16th.
Yeah. Either way, for me, it's the weekend at the end of half term, February half term. But we'll be there on the Friday. We're planning on getting there in the morning. So if anyone's going to Unravel and we'll be there on the Friday, drop a note and we'll be more than happy to come and say hello. Maybe have a coffee.
Yes.
Or something like that. Do some knitting together. Anything like that.
Like to chat knitting in person with people who are not
definitely. Oh, definitely. we are saving. I'm saving my pennies because there's going to be some good vendors there that I want to get some stuff from. So we will be doing some spending and some knitting probably.
Looking at all the pretty things.
Yeah, so that's exciting. We will report back post unravel.
Yeah, we'll probably have a similar amount of like stuff to show.
Probably. Yeah, because I imagine our next. No, we might record before then.
We should record before then.
We probably will record before.
That's
then.
over a month away.
Yeah, that's true.
And there isn't a Christmas or anything like that in the middle to distract.
Okay, well, we will record before then. But now we know that we're going. I thought we might as well just mention that we will be there, and it will be there on the Friday.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's exciting.
So yeah.
So let us know.
Anyone in the UK or anyone who's coming from further abroad who is going to that Fibre festival. We met a lady yesterday at Spinning Guild who's been there before, and she's from.
Yes.
So she's travelled. She travelled, I imagine, a fair way together.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it will be my first Fibre festival, I think.
Didn't you go to the Bristol Wool Festival? I'm sure you told me you did.
No. I knew it was going on, but I never got as far as I never got to go. So no, I haven't been. I know people who have.
Yeah,
other than you.
Yeah, I went to the second year of that when it was out at Easter Compton.
Right.
I bought a fleece there and lots of other fibre
things. They don't run it anymore because it wasn't. They couldn't afford to do it. It wasn't. Yeah, they couldn't. It wasn't. What's the word I'm looking for?
Viable.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway.
Rewarding.
Yarn fair. So it'll be my first time at a yarn fair. I am saving my pennies, and yeah. Right, we should stop talking because we've been talking about ages now.
Yeah.
So we will see you in a couple of weeks' time, I think, with even more stuff that we will have finished.
Yeah. Thank you very much for watching. Yeah. Please drop us a comment if you enjoyed what we're doing, or give us a like or a subscribe.
That would be lovely.
Yeah.
And we will see you next time.
Yeah.